Hi everyone! I know it's been a long time since I've done any of my plant tutorials, so I wanted to do one today because I saw a ton of chickweed growing in our garden, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because it's kind of the perfect plant for February as we head into Lupercalia and Valentine's Day. And I just think it has such beautiful connections to this particular time of winter. So the name of chickweed is Stellaria midea, which means mid-sized or medium-sized star, and that's because of the little tiny flowers. I know it's hard to see because they're not quite open yet. These are pretty young specimens of the chickweed, but they have these really sweet little white flowers that kind of open up into, I think they have about 6 petals, like a 6-pointed little star. So they're just really lovely, and they grow in abundance. So the curious or wonderful thing about chickweed is it's seen as an invasive weed for most people would think of it that way. It actually is a fascinating herb, and so if you think of it more as incredibly persistent or enduring, I think that will make it a little bit more endearing. It grows everywhere in the world. I don't think there's a corner of this earth that doesn't have some kind of chickweed growing. It is that hardy and that persistent in its propagation. It is all about balance. And so this particular plant is kind of the perfect representation of keeping yourself balanced and your environment balanced. And, you know, right now we all are feeling a little bit out of balance. We don't have access to life as we would normally have had it before the pandemic. So I think this particular plant reminds us that we can still grow and thrive even though we aren't maybe in the most ideal conditions. The other thing with this, and this kind of also goes back to I think what a lot of us are feeling right now, is chickweed grows in groups, so it thrives as a community. It's very much a community plant. It grows in these huge, I'll put a picture in the comments of just this little hillside we have at our house where it's basically a whole hill of chickweed. And they don't choke each other out. They just kind of keep growing, and each little plant is able to really pop up and grow in the way that it needs to as its own little individual plant, but also as a group. And because we have been separated right now from our social groups, I think we're all feeling that need to kind of reconnect with that energy of our communities. And that's what chickweed represents, except in the way of the plant world. So just by working with them, we're kind of bringing back in that energy of perseverance and community back into our intentional thought process and way of connecting. It also is, of course, as the name hints at, it is an extremely popular plant with birds, especially chickens. Chickens love chickweed, and it's actually something that is given to baby chicks because it's really good for their digestion, and it's incredibly rich in minerals. So it is also an edible plant for humans, and I highly recommend it. It tastes like spinach with a little bit of a peppery. I would just cook it exactly the way you would cook spinach. You could saute it with some salt and pepper, a little bit of butter, a little olive oil, and it just sautés exactly how you would have any type of spinach or collard green in your dish. And it will bring in that feeling of connection, balance, abundance. It's also a plant that is very connected on the I don't want to say spiritual or kind of the, how should I say this? The magical aspects or properties are connected to love and fertility. So that's why it's rather perfect for this time of year as we lead into Valentine's Day. It is one of those plants that, because it is so abundant, it is connected to that abundance or that fertility that we ourselves desire. It is thought to be a plant that's connected to strengthening marriages or relationships, fidelity. If you put it in your bath, or they've said if you even just tuck it in your pocket, that it will attract love into your life. It's also, I'm trying to think of any of the other love elements. I think those were some of the traditional, rather folklore uses, was the putting it in your pocket, and then a bath is, like I said, supposed to increase the fidelity in a marriage, or also the desire for fertility. So this is the plant you want, chickweed. It's also a lunar associated plant. So because of the little tiny star flowers, and of course the name Stellaria, it is connected to the lunar cycle and to the feminine energies of this particular plant. So it does have a lot of that lunar sort of feel to it, which again, this is a perfect time for that because of Lupercalia, which is connected to aspects of the moon and also the fertility. And my last little thing I think about this before I move on is, of course, persistence, because this little plant can survive some of the harshest winters. It will come back. It starts coming back. Well, it actually can last all year, but I've seen it now just starting to grow in great abundance in February. So I'm thinking by March we'll have some beautiful chickweed plants that we can use for cooking, for all different kinds of drying. It's medicinal as well. You can use this several different ways. It's been used in salve for different skin conditions. It's been used for bruising. I think it also helps reduce bruises. It reduces, or it actually helps reduce inflammation. If you have ever had any type of poison ivy or nettle stings, this will calm immediately any of that pain. Just even as a fresh plant, you can just crush it up and put it directly onto the irritation, and it'll be pretty much gone. Even if you add, it's even better if you add a little bit of aloe to it. So that's an immediate use that you can have with this beautiful little plant. And more than anything, just remember the persistence, the vitality, the joy that comes with having chickweed in your garden. It's not just a weed. And if you guys have missed my plant tutorials, I plan on doing more. I'm also teaching a class that is just amazing on the Inner Alchemy Collective. It's a class that will go all year, but you can pop in, anytime and just see the different modules. January is already available, and I'm working on the February module right now. And it will follow the seasons, but you can again jump in anytime and just kind of follow along. And included in all of that is also access to the entire platform, as well as all of the other classes by the other instructors, which are just fantastic. So I hope you'll want to give it a try. I'll put it in the links. There's a little kind of link where you can jump on for free for 7 days and just kind of look around and see if it's something that you think you might be interested in joining. It's $49 a month, but that gives you access to everything, and you create your own basically like a Facebook page to share, and you can get into different groups. We have book club, we have all kinds of different things, and video chats, and it's just really a really great community. So I'll put some more info on that. But in the meantime, check your garden for chickweed right now, because it might be just the little bit of perseverant energy that we need right now. Goodbye.